Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the Gamut Network. I actually, we always talk to the guests before they come on. And I have to tell you, I'm already like in love with this guest just from her giggle alone, which is absolutely the cutest. And her story is amazing. And I can't wait to share it with you all. So, with that, I'd love to welcome Maddie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey? And then we're going to dive into kind of some questions about that.
Yeah, so I was born with caudal regression syndrome, which is a rare spinal defect. And because of that, my legs were deformed when I was born. So when I was 10, I decided to have my legs amputated because they were in the way and they were hurting all the time. And then I also have lots of...
Let me ask you a question about that already off the bat. At 10 years old, I have an 11-year-old, so I'm very clear on the capacity. That is a tremendous decision. Is this something that your parents were obviously involved in, or no, it all came from you?
It all came from me at first. And my parents have always been like supportive of like my own medical decisions since I was like, I think like 6 or 7 years old. So it was my decision, and then they just supported me through it.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's unbelievable that at 10 years old you had the foresight to say, you know what, I think my life is going to be better if I amputate my legs. And that, I'm sure once you made the decision, you were probably quite relieved that, let's move forward.
The first thing I said when I woke up was like, Mom, my feet don't hurt anymore. And yeah, ever since then, it's helped me tremendously. I'm more independent because of it, and I'm not in pain anymore. But yeah.
That's amazing. So, okay. So I know that I'm not even going to say this number because our viewers need to hear it right from you. But in your bio, you stated that you've had quite a few surgeries. Can you tell us how many you've had?
Yeah, I've had over 80 surgeries. I think I'm at like 82 now. I don't know exact, but over 80. But yeah, I have quite a few other medical issues besides just my leg amputation, which I feel like a lot of people, when they see me, they assume that's like it. But there's like a ton of other stuff. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I see how people think it's so crazy, but like for me, that's been my life. So it's like normal to me.
Yeah, you're probably like, you're a frequent flyer at the hospital. Yeah. You have your surgeries. You're probably like, me again. And you're a professional. You could probably do your own IVs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, over 80 surgeries in 23 years, because that's how old you are, is absolutely difficult to get your head around. But what I love so much is, look at you. I mean, you are so joyous and bright and happy. And that's what I want to, for sure, underscore in this interview, that here you are. And if anybody has anything to complain about it, it's certainly you would have that right. But you choose a different path. So tell us a little bit about how do you, with that many surgeries and needing to be in the hospital for so long, what was your childhood like? What was like elementary, middle school, high school? Tell us about that experience.
So I come from a big family. I have like 4 other siblings, 2 step siblings. So yeah, I have quite a big family. And I think that's helped a lot. Like my siblings always like treated me the same, like I wasn't very coddled, and my parents weren't like that either. And I mean, I had a pretty lucky time in school. Like I wasn't bullied. I've lived in the same town my whole life. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that. I don't know. It definitely was hard. There was a time from like 8th grade up until like for like 3 years, I was living in bed. I wasn't going to school because I had really bad chronic pain. And probably that was like the hardest time I had in school, like getting back to that. And like, even though I was at the same school and the same people, like everybody kind of like that. I feel like at that time, everybody changes so much.
Yeah.
So like going back, it was like very different, like friend groups. And I was like still figuring things out, but I found my group of friends. I'm still friends with them. So yeah,
amazing.
it was, yeah. And also, I don't know, like getting through that kind of stuff, for me, humor is a big thing. Like just like laughing about your situation. I mean, it sucks in the moment, but like afterwards you can like joke about it.
Could not agree with you more. I say this all the time. Like my son, Oliver, who has muscular dystrophy and is really the inspiration of it all for me, whenever he is having a surgery or something is happening with him, I swear to you, I've never been funnier. I am at my funniest when something like really serious is happening, especially with him. It is truly the greatest medicine of all time.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, he was just in the hospital a couple of weeks ago. I had those nurses I mean, I was practically doing stand up. And they were like, it was like the Mindy show every day.
Yeah.
And it was so healing and helpful. And I love that you're embracing that at a very young age, to be so forward thinking that it does help. It helps tremendously.
Yeah, I was just in the hospital and I had to get, it's a long story, but I had to get some transfusions. And we were making all the like vampire jokes, and I was like, I feel like I'm in the Vampire Diaries right now or something. Like I'm waiting for Damon and Stefan to come compel me from blood.
And did they ever show up? Maybe they got lost.
I don't know, maybe. Or maybe they did and they compelled me. I can't remember.
I love it. So one thing I want to make sure that we have time to talk about is this amazing YouTube channel that you have. And it's Maddie Teagarden is the name of the channel. Tell us about what kind of the content is about and what made you start that.
So I don't know, I kind of just like show my life, but I love makeup. So I have quite a few makeup videos. I also talk about like disability and all that kind of stuff. And the main reason I wanted to start it was, well, first of all, I love YouTube. I watch makeup videos all the time. So I was inspired by that. But also, I think there's not really like that many big YouTube channels that show disability. And I was kind of like hoping to do that. And like if somebody who has a disability and they like feel like they're alone or isolated, like I would want someone to be able to see like I'm pretty normal. Like I go through some hard things, but like I still have like friends and I do makeup, I go out, like stuff like that.
That's so important. That's one of the reasons why we started the Gamut Network, because we had to rebrand who people with disabilities are and the misnomers. And I mean, I love that you love makeup, because I have spoken to quite a few beauty companies that's the beauty of makeup. It doesn't care if you have a disability, doesn't care one bit. Everybody can use makeup to feel beautiful and put on lipstick. I do love the way you do your eyeshadow, and it's something that is so universal, and it's so important to kind of highlighting that it's something everybody can partake in.
Yeah.
And I love that you're showing that side that, okay, you may not have legs, but you sure can do your makeup.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
And I think it's also important, especially during this time of a pandemic, that loneliness is a huge pandemic in and of itself. And, having a place that people can go to or watch your YouTube makes people feel very much less alone. And if there was a message that you wanted to send out to, let's say, your younger self? Let's say it was Maddie during that time that you weren't able to go to school. What would you say to her about what's going to get her through this?
Probably that's like really hard because there's like quite
how
a few
about
things.
being vulnerable and knowing that you're you're going to get through this time, because
Yeah.
at some point you're actually going to put it out to the world.
Yeah. Probably, yeah, that I'm gonna like use my situation to help others get through whatever they're going through, and yeah, show other people that are going through that stuff that it's okay and you'll get through it and everything will work out in the end, and there's a reason that everything's happening.
I couldn't agree more. And that you're just Maddie, who likes
Yeah.
to pick up, who actually is a part of a nonprofit. Tell us about that. Courageous Faces.
Yeah, so I'm one of they call us the champions of the foundations, which is like their ambassadors, and they help people with rare or severe medical conditions. So they got me like a wheelchair lift into my house and like redid my bathroom so it's wheelchair accessible. But they also have done some training with us for public speaking. We did like a photo shoot thing. It was like super fun. I loved that. And yeah, and so we speak at events with them, and they put on events for all the ambassadors to come together and hang out. It's usually really fun. It's always really fun. Not usually, it's always fun. And yeah, and I help with their like social media stuff too. But yeah, I love them. They're like a second family to me. So
Oh, I bet they are. And that's such an important piece that, from a personal perspective of my life, I'm trying very, very hard to explain to Oliver that it would be so helpful for him to engage with people, with muscular dystrophy, probably not his version of it because it's so rare, but just to be with people that really, really understand what you're going through.
yeah.
I hope he gets, we're not quite there yet. And he's a bit of a teen that doesn't want to listen to his mom. So I do hope, but I'm a huge believer in that. And I think you would agree that is, like you said, it's a family that really understands what you're going through.
Yeah. Like, yeah. My friends, like, they're supportive and all, but like my friends from Courageous Faces, like it's another level. Like they understand more deeply, and we talk to each other about it and all that stuff. So yeah, it's amazing.
Where are they based out of, Courageous Faces?
In Colorado, like Denver metro area. So
and okay, great. And are they national or they're just local to Colorado?
It's national.
Okay, great. Well done, Courageous Faces. Bravo.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, Maddie, before we go, wait, one more thing, actually. Let's just make sure everybody knows the YouTube channel, Maddie, Maddie Teagarden, Garden. And so that we can kind of increase your followers and get everybody to really see, how amazing you are. But I like to end every show on thinking and understanding the power of manifestation and vision boards and really putting it out there, where you see yourself in life and what would be your greatest dreams and hopes and aspirations. I keep mine as I show every interview. I have mine right here, and I'm not shy that I'm with Oprah and I'm with Ellen and I'm with Guy Raz and all these amazing shows that I intend to create. What would be on your vision board?
I definitely would want to become like a model. And hopefully, I think it would be really cool to get into acting. I don't have much experience besides like school stuff. But I think it's really important to show representation, because I know like when I was a kid, like Ali Stroker was like the first person I saw on TV that actually had a disability.
She's amazing.
yeah. And I remember like being like, oh my God, like finally somebody who's actually disabled. Also, since I love makeup, I've thought about like having a makeup brand or something like that, which would be really cool. So yeah.
And I think
that's like
really cool for other kids or teens or men, women, doesn't matter, to see somebody in the makeup world who has a disability would be so spectacular and game changing. So I'm with you. I'm behind you on that. I'm behind you on everything. And I know that you are definitely going to make your imprint on this world. And we're very, very fortunate to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
It was so lovely to meet you. And I can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It was nice to meet you too.
If you would like to be on the Gamut Network, please email us at talent@gamutmanagement.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Gamut Network, as well as follow us on social media at Gamut Management. Thank you again. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.